Hello everyone, in this video we're going to have a look at the variation of the Bagua step, which is intended to work out yin meridians in our legs. So previously, the previous video, we've been working out the yin meridians. We've been holding a bowl in front of the belly to more relax, to make the supportive bowel working properly. But this time we are going to have a look at the exact opposite of that. So the yin power, so stepping into the toe, the very classical Tanibu, or step into the toe, the classical version of the Bagua step. If you have ever heard about the Bagua step, you've probably seen this exact variation, although there are many others, but still. And first I will demonstrate how this step should be performed and practiced within the walking Qigong practice. And again, just like whatever other step from the walking Qigong, you can just take this one step and not do anything else but this step. You can just learn it. It's very simple. You practice it and you just start feeling benefit from doing this. Okay, so I will now demonstrate how this is supposed to be practiced, and then we'll go into the details behind it, because this is one of my favorite steps in the entire form. I'm a Baguazhang practitioner, and Baguazhang is my main practice, although I know many other forms and do sometimes some other exercises and practices, but Bagua is my 15 plus years main practice, and I have a very special connection with this step in particular, because this step helps to formulate the interface with the outer world, the way so you can interact with it without outer world bringing any harm to you, to your inner self. So this is very interesting. So we'll have a look at how the technical part is done, and also some philosophical backgrounds, and maybe a bit of an application. Okay, so let's have a look at how this step is supposed to be practiced. Okay, so seems like nothing special so far, right? But they say the simpler the form is, the more complicated the inner work is. And the inner work within this particular step is very interesting, because it's intended to bring the whole entirety of energy, motion, etc. into a one single point in one's Dantian. And this allows me to group myself quite nicely and move as one, no matter which direction do I move. Okay, so I step like this, and the very first thing to do is to drop the chi. So I need to relax the shoulders, drop the elbows, and sink down. And this results in my knees being slightly bent, but I'm not bending the knees to put them into the pressure. No, I'm just relaxing shoulders, dropping elbows. And once this is done, I feel like all my concentrations go downward. But knees should not go beyond the projection of our toes. That is quite important. So this is wrong, and this is wrong. So it should be like exactly going over in here. Then the form of our hands, as if we've been holding some glasses with coffee, let's say. So we take two glasses with coffee like this, and we consider an empty step here. So my weight is in the rear leg, although there is no such a thing as weight in Baguazhang in particular, and in inner practice in general, they would rather call it the fulfilled leg and the empty leg, hence the name empty step, Shuibu in Chinese. So there is no weight, and once I've came here, in order to drive, I need to sort of pull myself forward slightly, a little bit like this. Okay, so then I do the empty step, and then I'm driving myself forward a little bit. Empty step and driving myself. An empty step and going forwards, and going forwards. So it's like as if I had some wheels in my leg, say right over in here, tiny little wheel here. So I step on the wheel and I just drive on this. And it's like the car with the forward driving wheels. So you're not pushing from behind. No, this is like I'm getting pulled from the front. Normal motion, the physical motion goes like this, and you spend energy, you spend power, you need to sleep more, you need to eat more, and etc. But with this inner power, you sort of feeling the relaxation. The more you walk, the more relaxed you feel. The more you walk, the more powers you obtain, I would say. So this is very important to cultivate this inner sucking power. So this goes within inside. So all I do essentially, I'm not thinking much about steps. Step is very simple. I'm trying to become smaller and smaller every step. So touching the world, touching the outer world very lightly. Like, how much space do I need to live in the world? This is all the space that I need. There is a single center around which I do all these rotations. So no matter what I do, I rotate around the center. And generally when I just do the bare circle walking, to be honest, this works even better. Because every single step I made, I'm doing this particular step that we are having worked today. I'm just showing you the origin behind this step to get it more clear. That it's not just a single step, but that's the entire art that lies behind the step. So the idea, every single step I make, I get more tight. Every single step, more tight. Okay? So eventually, like, become one. So just gather into a single point. And this makes automatically your top head being like stretched. You're not trying to stretch it, just get stretched naturally. Also your legs getting relaxed naturally, and all the structure of chi naturally flowing downwards occurs naturally. All happens very naturally. And all the secret is just focus on this pulling power. Apart from internal Chinese martial arts, it's not martial arts, but it's more like Qigong. I've been doing Aikido for about 3 years, maybe a bit more. So if I have the skill of bringing energy into my center, I don't particularly care what kind of style to do. Well, generally, if you have an access to your Dantian, you're cultivating your Dantian, if you're developing your Dantian, if you're listening to your Dantian, if you're spending your entire life dedicating to your Dantian, it really doesn't matter then which styles to do. And the matter of picking up a certain style is more likely the matter of karma, maybe the fate. So something that you tend to be doing just naturally. The movements in Aikido are done this way. So what is interesting about this particular exercise is that I'm using my center as the pivot point. So I'm using my center. Say here I have a blade that I chop with. So I chop with the blade. But if I just emphasizing the blade, I would be moving like this. Okay, shoulders would be tense, and that would be the Western Aikido that doesn't make much sense. But the true Aikido is when you focus on the center and you just chop. And you just chop here. So everything goes into one single point in Dantian. And hence these steps in Aikido made the way. So you just go very straight. You may change the direction. You may change the direction like this. And here comes the Taisabaki, translated as turn the body. So here is how it goes. And then if you have this Dantian, so there is a test for a Dantian. Roll-ups. So when you have Dantian, you don't care if you are in the motion or if you're standing. And in Bagua, there is a slightly different principle, which takes even less power, because in order to make all these roll-ups, you need to be physically strong. You're getting older, it's not really that great. If I grab somebody who is about to Bagua, I sort of push him hard, but then once I get to his Dantian, I suddenly do like this, so he would be going downwards. And by the time he goes downwards, I would be going upwards. And then he would be turning, and I would be just running around him back and forth. And I would not be capable to do anything about him, because he is just turning all the way, right? And from his perspective again, so he just takes, and then he goes one side, another side, one side, another side, and no matter where he goes, he controls opponent. Not because he's doing something to the opponent, but because he's doing something to his very own self. That's it from my side, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Until then, and cheers.